Good morning, students. Welcome you all in English lecture. So, dear students, today we are going to revise the grammar topics. So, I request you all to kindly pay attention carefully in today's online session. So, dear students, first we'll study the homophones. Now, this topic of homophones we have studied in a previous lecture. So, let's revise this topic, homophones. So, dear students, what do you mean by homophones? Yes, homophones means what? Homophones are words that sound the same but have different meanings and usually different spelling. I repeat, homophones are words that sound the same but they have different meanings and usually different spellings. For example, write and right. Now, W-R-I-T-E, right, and RIGHT, right. These two spellings are different. They have two different meanings, but their pronunciation, it sounds same. It sounds similar. That's why it's known as homophones. Next, let's take the example of 8. EIGHT. It is a number 8. ATE, 8. That's a different thing. 8. I ate an apple. So these two different words are there which different meanings, different spellings, but they have one thing common, which they sound the same. Now let's see this topic, homophones, with the help of more examples. Yes, students, now the more examples of homophones are given here. Right. This example already I have told you all. Then next is father and father. Father, F-A-R-T-H-E-R and F-A-T-H-E-R. So these two different spellings are there, two different meaning, but their sound is same. They sound similar. That's why they are known as homophones. See, the examples are also given here. We decided not to go any farther. And the next, I love my father. So these two different spellings, two different meanings, but they are having sound similar. That's why they are said to be homophones. Next is meet and meet. M-E-E-T and M-E-A-T. M-E-E-T. So maybe we will meet again sometime. And MEAT, I gave up eating meat a few months ago. So these two different spellings, two different meanings, but they are having the sound similar. That's why they are known as homophones. So homophones means what? Two different words, they are having two different spellings, two different meanings, but the sound is similar. Flour and flour, F-L-O-U-R, flour. So, sift this flour and salt into a bowl. Flour means maida. Okay, maida. We say in Hindi, maida. It's known as flour. Whereas flower, F-L-O-W-E-R. So, what a beautiful flowers. So, these two different spellings, but their sound is similar. For. Okay, for. So, F-O-U-R, that is number. F-O-R, for, that is preposition. Okay, two different words, two different meanings, but they are having sound similar. Pear, P-A-I-R, pear, and P-E-A-R. P-E-A-R is a fruit, is the name of a fruit. Whereas pear means the number of 2 is known as pair. Okay, so these are the examples of homophones. I hope you have understood this topic of homophones very well. Now let's proceed towards the next topic. Friends, today first we are going to start with the figures of speech. Now we have already studied the topic figure of speech in our previous lectures. So dear students, figure of speech, main figure of speech, the most important figure of speech we are going to study today. And to study this figure of speech, you can use the acronym SHAMPO to remember the 6 common figures of speech. They are simile, hyperbole, alliteration, metaphor, personification, and onomatopoeia. So, S stands for simile, H stands for hyperbole, A alliteration, M metaphor, P personification, and O stands for onomatopoeia. So these are the 6 common used figures of speech we are going to study in today's lecture. Now dear students, what do you mean by simile? Simile means a comparison between two alike things using the words like, as, and so. Okay, so in simile we are using the words like, as, and so, and there is direct comparison between two different things having one point in common. For example, soldiers are as brave as lions. I repeat, soldiers are as brave as lions. So here soldiers are compared to lions. Two different objects are there. Soldiers, human category. Lions, animal category. But they are having one point common, that is brave. Clear? Understood the concept of simile? This we have already. Today first we are going to start with the figures of speech. Now we have already studied the topic figure of speech in our previous lectures. So dear students, figure of speech, main figure of speech, the most important figure of speech we are going to study today. And to study this figure of speech, you can use the acronym SHAMPO to remember the 6 common figures of speech. They are simile, hyperbole, alliteration, metaphor, personification, and onomatopoeia. So, S stands for simile, H stands for hyperbole, A alliteration, M metaphor, P personification, and O stands for onomatopoeia. So these are the 6 common used figures of speech we are going to study in today's lecture. Now dear students, what do you mean by simile? Simile means a comparison between two alike things using the words like, as, and so. Okay, so in simile we are using the words like, as, and so, and there is direct comparison between two different things having one point in common. For example, soldiers are as brave as lions. I repeat, soldiers are as brave as lions. So here soldiers are compared to lions. Two different objects are there. Soldiers, human category. Lions, animal category. But they are having one point common, that is brave. Clear? Understood the concept of. So students, now hyperbole. What do you mean by hyperbole? Hyperbole is an extreme exaggeration of a situation using human. I repeat, hyperbole is an extreme exaggeration of a situation using human. Okay, for example, like I could sleep for a year. So do you sleep for a year? No. Can you sleep for a year? No. But it is a hyperbole. The exaggeration is made using the human. Next, I am so hungry I could eat a horse. So do you eat a horse when you are hungry? No. But the exaggeration is made. So it is known as hyperbole. Here the exaggeration is made. That's why it is known as hyperbole. Next is alliteration. So you are very familiar with alliteration. Alliteration means when the letters are repeated. When the alphabets are repeated, it is known as alliteration. Next is metaphor. Metaphor is a comparison between two things that aren't like but have something in common. So opposite of simile is metaphor. Metaphor means indirect comparison is there, but they have two different things. Between two different things the comparison is made, but they have one point in common. For example, soldiers are lions. So soldiers are lions means soldiers are brave. So they are having one point common. But here it is said directly. Understood? In simile it was said indirectly, whereas in metaphor it is said directly. Next is personification. Personification means human qualities are given to non-living things. For example, the stars are dancing in the sky. So do stars dance in the sky? No. But the comparison is given. The human quality is given to the stars. The trees are singing in the breeze. So dear students, do trees sing in the breeze? No. But just the human quality is given. Next is onomatopoeia. Onomatopoeia means, yes students, what do you mean by onomatopoeia? Okay, so dear students, onomatopoeia means a word that imitates the sound. It represents the sound. Onomatopoeia means the sound. Like, consider some of these onomatopoeia words. Did they make the sound like O, tip top? Okay, so these are the sounds that represents the onomatopoeia. Onomatopoeia means, I repeat once again, onomatopoeia means the sound made by any objects. It's known as the onomatopoeia. Like crash, crunch, zing, meow, crackle, bang. Okay, so these kind of sounds like made by animals, pets, these are known as onomatopoeia. So dear students, I hope you have understood this topic very well. Now let's proceed towards the next topic. So dear students, today we are going to study one new grammar topic, that is prefixes and suffixes. So dear students, this topic already you have learnt in standard 6. Now this year also let us try to understand what is the concept of prefix and suffixes. So are you ready for that? Very good. Now dear students, what do you mean by prefixes? Prefixes. Prefixes means what? Yes? Can anyone tell me what is the meaning of prefixes? Yes, very good. This grammar topic already you have learnt last year. You have learnt already this topic in previous year. Now prefixes means what? Yes, it is a word part added in front of a base word to change the meaning. Prefix means the words are added before the word, which change the meaning of the word. I repeat again, what is the meaning of prefixes? Prefixes is a word, that part which is added in front of a base word to change the meaning. Pre means before, okay? So the words are added before the word. For example, here prefix, meaning and example. 3 columns are given. So let us try to understand these prefixes with the help of more examples. Re is a prefix. So meaning is given again. So this is a word again. So if we add prefix, if we add before the word re, it becomes re again. Re again. So re again, it forms the another word. It changes the meaning of the word. Next, example is also given, rewrite. 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 Okay. Kind. Kind is there. Okay. So if I add prefix unkind, so it changes the meaning of the word. It forms a new word, right? Made. Pre-made. Pre-made. Made is a different word. When I added prefix before the word in front of the base word, so it changed the meaning of the word. It forms a new word, that is pre-made. Dis. So dishonest. Dishonest. Honest is a word. If I added dishonest, it changed the meaning of the word. Impolite. Impolite is a word. If I added prefix impolite. Another example, possible. So impossible. If possible is a different word, if I added prefix, when should be added prefix? Yes, in front of a base word. So it changes the meaning of the word. That is impossible. Impolite. It changes the meaning of the word. It forms a new word. Nonsense. Nonsense. So sense is a word. If I added non, it becomes nonsense. So it changed the meaning of the word. Miss. Now miss means, it is meaning of miss is wrong or bad. Meaning of miss is wrong or bad. So misbehavior. Miss means what? Misbehavior. Mischievous. Misbehavior. Behavior is a word. If I added prefix, it becomes misbehavior. It completely changed the meaning of the word. Also, it forms a new word. So, dear students, I hope you have understood the concept of prefixes. How to add prefixes. When to add prefix? Before the word. Before, in front of a base word. To change the meaning of the word. Now, let's proceed towards the suffixes. Yes, students, what do you mean by suffix? Suffix means what? So, opposite of prefix is suffix. So, a suffix is added to the word end of a base word. When prefix is added in front of a base word to change the meaning. And when suffix is added, it is added to the end of a base word. So, in simple words, prefixes are added before the word, whereas suffixes are added after the word. A suffix changes the meaning of a word. Let's see the example. Full means full of. So, if I have given the word color, so you can add colorful. Colorful means full of color. So, it completely changed the meaning of a word. Color, colorful. Less. Less means without. What is the meaning of less? Less is a suffix and its meaning is without. So if I have given the word care, you can add after it careless. It